Hello everyone, good day. We are Group 3 and we will be reporting about arts and creativity literacy, visual literacy, and eye-hand coordination. But before that, these are the reporters for this group. Once again, hello everyone. I am Angela Kate Tote and I will be reporting about arts and creativity literacy. Now, what is arts and creativity literacy? According to the National Coalition for Core Arts Standards, it is the knowledge and understanding required to participate authentically in the arts. It also requires to engage in artistic creation processes directly through the use of materials like charcoal or paint and in specific grades like concert halls, stages, dance rehearsals, and others. Now, arts and creative literacy is simply the ability to understand, to decipher, and to comprehend a certain art form like literature, painting, photography, music, dance, theater, cinema, and others. Now, art-infused education is an engaging technique to assist children in learning. Students are more engaged when art is included throughout the curriculum. Art fosters 21st century readiness by encouraging the development of the four C's: creativity, critical thinking, communication, and collaboration. Now, these skills are important because it helps students throughout their personal and professional lives. They are essential qualities that people, especially our students, need to succeed in various situations. Now, critical thinking teaches students to question claims and seek truth. Creativity teaches students to think in a way that's unique to them or to create something new. Collaboration teaches students that groups can create something bigger and better than you can on your own. While communication teaches students how to efficiently convey ideas. Combined all of this, it empowers students to be discerning people capable of expressing themselves and working with others to find insightful and impactful and better solutions to everyday challenges. Arts and literacy help students develop design, thinking, creativity, and critical thinking, all skills said to be important for future workforce. They use art-specific vocabulary, metaphors, embodiment, and other more demanding ways to express themselves through their art. With the challenges our global economy, ecology, and society face today, there has never been a greater need for innovative ideas. So in the recent decades, the majority of schools have nearly eliminated art, music, theater, dance, and even recess due to the desire for higher standardized test scores. But then, observing our modern setting, employers currently value creativity more than any other skill. So, it is important that we must know that employers continue to want us to produce students with abilities in creativity, cooperation, entrepreneurship, innovation, problem solving, critical thinking, and other practical skills. Now, that would be all for the introduction of arts and creative literacy. To continue my report, we have Mr. Frederick John Logroño.
So thank you, Miss Dote. And now let's proceed to my discussion entitled of 8 Benefits or Lesson That We Can Learn from Arts by Elliot Ishiner. So first we have the form and content cannot be separated. So how something is said or done shape the content of experience. In education, how something is taught, how curricula are organized, and how schools are designed impact upon what students will learn. These side effects may be real to the real main effects of practice, so they will not separated done in the meaning and the essence of what they doing or what they encode. It will never be separated. So how did they something affects and that is the outcome. Second is everything interacts. There is no content without form and no form without content. So when the content of a form is changed, so too is the form altered. So this is the example. So from and content are like two sides of a coin. So if there are any changes, so there are some gonna change in your content and outcome. Third, no one's matter. To have the extent to which teaching is an art, attention to nuance is critical. It can also be said that aesthetic leaves that in details the maker can shape the course of creation. So, how a word is spoken, how a gesture is made, and how the line is written, and how a melody is played. So, all these are affect the characters of the whole. All depend upon the modulation of nuance is a content to be act. Fourth, surprise is not to be seen as intruder in the process of inquiry, but also a part of rewards one reaps when working artistically. So if no surprise, no discovery. Then if no discovery, then no progress. Educators should not resist surprises, but create the condition to make it happen. It is the one most powerful source of intrinsic satisfaction. Fifth, slowing down perception is the most promising way to see what actually there. It is true that we have certain words to designate high levels of intelligence. We describe somebody as being swift, or bright, or sharp, or fast, or to pick up. So if we say smart, then we gonna say that they are intelligent. So speed is swift state. It is a descriptor for those we can call smart. 6. The limits of language are not the limit of cognition. We know that more that we can tell, in common terms, literacy refers essential to the ability to read and to write. But literacy can be recapitalized as creation to be used of a form of representation that will be enable that one to create meaningful that will not take the impress of language in its conventional form. In addition, literacy is associated with high forms of cognition. We tend to think that in order to know, and one has to enable to say. 7. Somatic experience is one of the most important indicators that someone has gotten it right, related to the multiple ways in which we represent the word through the multiple forms of literacy. It is the way in which we come to know the world through an entailments of our body. Sometimes one knows is a process or event through one's skin. Last, open-ended tasks permit in the exercise of imagination. And an exercise of the imagination is one of the most important of human aptitudes. It is a imagination, not necessity. That is the mother of invention. Imagination is the source of new possibilities. In the arts, imagination is a primary virtue, so it should be in teaching of mathematics. As all science and history and ended, and virtually of all humans create. To achieve would require an serialization culture of schooling in which is the imaginative aspect of human condition that were made possible.
So thank you, Mr. Logronio, for your report. So next, I am John Ricuyag to present my report. So there are the strategies and the cognitive framework that teachers can utilize for students to develop creativity, which are the Framework for Creative Thinking and Problem Solving by Torrance of 1979 and Scamper Thinking and Designing Technique. So Framework for Creative Thinking and Problem Solving, there are four types, which are the fluency, flexibility, originality, and elaboration. So in the fluency, it is the refers to the production of concepts that demonstrates a wide range of possibilities of mental domains, or mental domains rather. Next is the flexibility, refers to how the artistry adapts from different perspectives. Next is the originality, which involves the creative of original and unconventional thoughts. And last, the elaboration, which is an approach for improving ideas by adding more details. So these are the possible creative ways of thinking and problem solving of Torrance of 1979. And next, we are going to the Scamper thinking and design technique. So, Scamper is an acronym for a series of thought starters or provocations that assist you in innovating an existing product, service, or issue by viewing it through different lenses. So, Scamper has 7 provocation lenses. So, for S, we have substitute, C for combined, A for adapt, M for modify, P for put to another use, E for eliminate, and lastly the R, which is the reverse. So, the importance of arts and creativity literacy. So, why is it important to have the creativity, literacy, and the arts? So, it encourages reluctant readers, build confident, and help teach practical skills. This aided sustained learning as the children made strong connections between reading, writing, and their work in the creative arts. So, it is important to children to have this arts and creativity literacy to build their knowledge and skills which they can help to make them more creative in arts such as in reading and writing. So, it allows students to participate in literacy activities such as acting out plays using characters they created or creating props. It gives students the opportunity to use their imagination. So, arts and creativity literacy plays an important role because kanimo ay naghatag sa usa ka learner o usa ka bata nga mahimo siya nga active, proactive sa iyang mga skills and creativity to make distinctive ways that they can connect to others, such as in the field of arts. So he can create freely through his literacy that made from the arts and creativity. So it is important to promote this because it helps that practical skills which can learn by a student.
So, visual literacy. So, unsa man visual literacy? Visual literacy is the ability to make sense of a whole range of visual information, essentially to be able to read visual, appreciating of being, and interrogate or analyze both literal and inferred meaning. So, as stated here in the PowerPoint, is visual literacy is it refers to the ability to effectively effectively understand, interpret, and maka-analyze siya sa mga various forms of visual communication, such as mga, for example, like images, mga graphics, or even videos. So, ang visual literacy is, it involves mag-involve siya sa recognizing and appreciating the different elements sa, for example, visuals like mga colors, mga symbols, and through having a visual literacy is you can understand their meaning and the impact. So, it's stated here nga interpret images. So, if kuan ka visual literacy ka, so dali ra ka maka-analyze through makakita lang ka sa image. So dali ra nimo ma-analyze kung unsa gipasabot nga information to that specific image. So maka-analyze ka sa meaning of the image. So as I said earlier nga you can understand, dali ra ka maka-analyze, evaluate images and their sources. So pare-pareha man siya, no? So, why we encourage visual literacy in the classroom? So, to develop a life skill, to unlock other learning, to support verbal language development, to support wider literacy skills, to encourage critical thinking, and support children with special education needs or disabilities. So, importante kayo ni ang visual literacy sa classroom. Why? Maka-improve ni og communication. So, visual literacy is makatabang ni siya as students nga maka-interpret, create visual content effectively, making communication clearer and more impactful. And makatabang din siya sa mga students sa ilang critical thinking kay maka-analyzing visuals kuan through having the kana visual literacy is maka-analyze ka sa mga image, and makatabang din siya sa to develop understanding unsa ang world around us, and maka-encourage ni nato as students to question assumptions and maka-think critically. So information processing, kuan din siya, visual literacy is aids in processing and retaining information more efficiently, kay ang atong brains maka-process of visual faster than text, so making it easier to grasp complex. So if we develop our developing visual literacy skills is makatabang ni as nato nga individuals nga mahimo ta nga more critical thinkers and mahimong better consumers of visual information. So it can also enhance communication, creativity, and problem solving abilities. So maka-improve visual literacy is maka-practice na to analyze various visual materials, discussing their ilang meanings and exploring different perspectives. So that's what the visual literacy and its importance.
So thank you, Mr. Aramis Putaysar. So now I will continue the discussion. By the way, my name is Geoffrey D. Redondo. Now I will continue the discussion about the eye, hand, and brain coordination. What is hand-eye coordination? Hand-eye coordination is the use of the eyes and a means to direct the hand muscle in performing a task. The brain gathers visual information through the eyes and uses the information to determine which muscle movements are needed at the time. So, what the eye see or what the eyes visualize, it will be transmitted to the brain, and the brain will analyze and process the visual information, and then he will instruct your body or your hand on what should he do or what should they do. Example is greeting others with a wave of a hand requires hand-eye coordination. When you see your friend, you use your eye. You visualize, then the visual information you will transmit. It will be transmitted in the brain, and the brain will process and analyze that what you see is your friend. Then he will instruct your hand on what gesture should he make. For example, is waving at him. Next is the hand-eye coordination depends on several other areas of development, such as vestibular system, maintaining balance while they reach for something, visual tracking, scanning the room for an object, proprioception, awareness of how to move their body to complete the task, gross motor, using large muscles to reach for an object, fine motor, using small muscle to grab and grasp an object. So those mentions really need the eye, brain, and hand coordination, because, for example, is the on visual tracking. So if you don't have the eye to visualize the what you will gonna track, then there will be no visual information that will be transmitted to your brain. Then you cannot perform the visual tracking. So those mentions like vestibular system, visual tracking, proprioceptions, gross motor, and fine motor really need the three coordination of your eye, brain, and hand. Next is, how does hand-eye coordination work and why is it important? Hand-eye coordination encompasses the lightning fast communication between the eyes, brain, and body that allows us to effectively and efficiently use our hand based on what we see.
The process is involved in three steps. The eye identifies details that are relevant to a task. For example, at a snack time, a teacher opens a drawer and asks a student to get a spoon. The student scans the drawer compartments to find the spoon. So he uses his eyes to the visualize the what is in the drawer. Then then the brain process the eyes sees and sends instruction to the body to pick up a spoon. Then after the eye see, it will be transmitted in the brain, and the brain will process and analyze on where is the spoon, and after that it will gonna instruct your body on what should you do. The hands follow the brain instruction. The student reaches into the drawer, grabs a spoon, and pull it out. So those are the process involved in the eye, brain, and hand coordination. Hand-eye coordination is a term we often hear about when people are talking about playing video games. In truth, however, we need hand-eye coordination to perform all sorts of daily tasks, from writing and tying our shoelace to driving, because it plays such an important role in everything that we do throughout our lives. Hand-eye coordination is particularly vital skill for children to develop. The synchronization between their eyes and body movements help lay the foundation for a child's ability to learn, perform life skills, and play sports, which are essential for success at school. So without the eye, brain, and hand coordination, we cannot do a certain task in our daily life. So for the summary, arts and creativity literacy, it refers to the understanding and appreciation of artistic expressions, as well as the ability to engage in creative thinking and problem solving. Visual literacy. Visual literacy involves the ability to interpret, understand, and communicate through visual means such as image, symbols, and design. Hand-eye coordination, or the eye-brain hand coordination, refers to the ability of the eye to visualize what he see, transmit it to the brain. The brain will process it and give instruction to your body parts or to your hand in order for you to perform a task. So that's all for our report. So if you have any questions, please ask. If not, if there is none, so thank you, and that's all for our report.